another topic that comes to us from a flat earther post. Pancake, before you say anything, no, this is not a flat earth video. I swear. It's just that they're a wonderful, endless source of topics.
Okay, Yeti.
So here, I screen captured the post. And I also recorded the video that they posted, so we'll look at that here now.
The helicopter is able to stay in one place and hover. When it lifts up, why doesn't the spinning Earth rush away beneath it? There's a reason why those who criticize the globe model frequently bring up helicopters. The Earth is said to spin fast, so the thought is easy to understand. Lift a helicopter. Stay still. Wait. If the ground is moving, why does the helicopter stay above the same place? Why is it not suddenly over another city? That is the puzzle, and this is where people split. Because the globe explanation says the helicopter, the air, and the Earth are already moving together. But then, some folks ask, if the air moves with the Earth, how much? Always, at every height. Some argue that the helicopter example feels more natural if the ground is not moving beneath it at all. They say the hover matches what our eyes expect. No spinning surface, no hidden motion, just staying above the same place. However, mainstream science strongly disputes and rejects such notion. Nevertheless, people continue to ask this issue since they can see the case themselves.
So there you have it, that's it. So basically their question was, the Earth is spinning at roughly 1,000 miles an hour, depending on what your latitude is. Why isn't a helicopter left behind while the world and everything underneath of it, everything on it, zips away from them? I don't have a problem with people not understanding something, but what kind of frustrates me here, the person that created this video is already aware of the answer, but then kind of brushes it off and goes back to asking the question anyway. Why continue to be hung up on the question if you already have the answer? Didn't even attempt to refute or disprove it. They just simply abandoned it, left it laying there, and walked away from it.
So they're being ignorant?
Well, yeah, I guess you could say that. Let's see if we can give them an answer, get to the bottom of what's going on here. So today's secret word is inertia. Inertia is the fundamental property of matter that causes an object to resist any change to its current state of motion. Anyone that's ever been in the same room as a physics book has heard this before, but an object at rest remains at rest, and an object in motion remains in motion unless acted upon by an outside force. Now, if you and some friends are driving along together in a vehicle, let's say that vehicle is doing 60 miles an hour, then not only that vehicle, but you and your friends, the air that you're breathing, everything in the vehicle with you, they're all moving together at that same 60 miles an hour. With the Earth, we have much the same thing, except at a much larger scale. So Earth is rotating at around 1,000 miles an hour, give or take, depending on your latitude. And every single solitary thing on it, you, me, the atmosphere, the oceans, everything, are moving right along with it at the exact same speed. So that's inertia that you, me, your dog Fluffy, everybody has. Right now, as I record this, I'm at exactly 39.12 degrees north latitude. So at my exact latitude, I'm rotating at about 807 miles an hour. That means the buildings around me, the vehicles in the parking lot, the trees off in the distance, the clouds overhead, and the very air that I'm breathing are all rotating at 807 miles an hour. Even if I leap straight up into the air, I'm still carrying that eastward momentum, still traveling to the east at 807 miles an hour. All that inertia didn't go anywhere just because my feet left the ground. So we'll say certain demographics that we will leave unnamed aren't very big on like the math, on the physics. They just want stuff you can see, that you can visualize. And the first illustration that I can think of that popped into my head was one of a guy tossing a ball in a pickup truck. Alright, this video kind of sucks. Obviously the AI got a little bit confused here. I'm sorry, but it's what I have to work with. I have a full-time job, 7 days a week. I don't get paid to do this. I don't have time for this. So let's just play along. So anyway, the truck, its passengers, this baseball, we're all traveling along together at the same speed. So even if the truck is moving along at say 40 miles an hour, when the guy tosses the ball up in the air, from his perspective, the ball goes straight up and straight back down. Now from the perspective of somebody standing on the side of the road watching the truck go by, the path that the ball is taken would look to be a parabolic arc. But the guy tossing the ball up and down the back of the truck isn't throwing it forward ahead of him so it can keep up with him. He's just throwing it straight up and it's coming straight back down to him. This is because of inertia. Now, even though I did really like this illustration, and it is one that any of us can easily test ourselves, it does have one major imperfection. If the person tossing the ball up in the air tosses it farther, high enough, it'll fly through a bunch of air that isn't pulling along with the truck. That will interfere with the ball's flight, and that's an effect on the ball that doesn't very well illustrate the Earth that we're trying to illustrate. Earth isn't rotating through a giant mass of static air. All the air is moving with the Earth, so that's an imperfection with this particular illustration. As long as you don't throw the ball too high, it's fine. Perhaps a better illustration than this pickup truck would be if you did the exact same thing but inside of a large van or maybe a school bus, something where you had a bit more room and it was all enclosed so you weren't passing the ball through static air. Now, for an illustration using something that any of us could reasonably do, it comes a lot closer to the helicopter in our question. A personal private drone taking off in a moving airplane would be a much more perfect illustration. While the airplane in question most likely isn't going roughly 1,000 miles an hour, it's probably doing at least a few hundred miles an hour, and that's a speed that I'm pretty sure your drone wouldn't be able to do. And yet, somehow your drone would keep up with the airplane. And this is because, and say it with me, inertia! So in this example, the plane, the drone, all the air on board, they're all moving together. And when that drone takes off in the airplane, it's still keeping all that inertia. It's still moving along at several hundred miles an hour. Now, this isn't perfect. You may struggle getting a drone on board an airliner, so maybe we'll need to run with the van or bus idea instead. But surely you get the picture. So how about some examples of inertia in daily life? Yank a tablecloth out from under a bunch of dishes. The dish's inertia keeps them stationary. This is because of that part about an object at rest remaining at rest. Driving or riding along in a vehicle gives you an opportunity to witness inertia at both ends, as under acceleration from a dead stop, you're thrown back against your seat because your inertia is wanting to keep you at rest. While at the other end of it, if you suddenly slam on the brakes, your inertia is trying to keep you moving forward. Another excellent example from your experience in an automobile is when you suddenly turn. Your body, its inertia, is wanting to keep you going in a straight line. During a long jump competition, when an athlete wants to jump far, they run so that their inertia carries them through the air farther than if they'd been at a standstill. An excellent example that you can do yourself at home: rapidly stir some liquid in a glass and then take out the spoon. What you should find is that the water continues to spin long after you remove the spoon. This swirling continues because of the water's inertia. So yeah, sure, whenever a helicopter takes off and the Earth doesn't fly away out from underneath of it, that matches what you would expect from a stationary Earth. But simultaneously, it also happens to match what you'd expect from a moving Earth because of inertia, as we've established. So if the Earth and everything on it was rotating at 1,000 miles an hour, give or take, and a helicopter suddenly takes off from that moving Earth, that helicopter will still carry that inertia and keep moving with the Earth at that same 1,000 miles an hour, give or take. This really isn't all that complicated. Anybody that's failing to understand this doesn't want to understand it. But unfortunately, not wanting something to be true doesn't make it untrue. So there we have it. Physics isn't a religion. It doesn't matter whether or not we believe in it. It's an omnipresent, all-powerful God that we can't escape. Everyone, everywhere is subject to the divine authority of physics. And on that, we'll call it a wrap for now. Thank you so very much for following along with me. We appreciate each and every one of you, whether you like what we have to say or not. May your God bless you and enjoy the rest of your day.